Good evening. This is Military Strategies live on January 16, 2026. Donald J. Trump, canceled the attack against Iran at the last minute. Everything seems to indicate that the plan is even bigger than we ever imagined. And the thing is, combat units keep arriving in the Persian Gulf and reinforcements for the final attack keep coming in, and the Iranian regime. The situation is serious. Israel had already said it. We have to be prepared, and we are not going to give any chance to suffer damage. That's why it's likely that Donald Trump, in the last, canceled the attack while waiting for something important. Family, your likes and comments, let's begin. Good evening, family, and welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now from the world to the world. I can't tell you more. From the world to the world. Welcome. Sorry we didn't have a live stream yesterday. There was a technical problem. If I tell you, you'll laugh. I'd rather not tell you because we'd look ridiculous, but someday I'll tell you. Someday I'll tell you, and someday, in fact, we'll take a picture of what happened. Who's to blame for us not having military strategies yesterday? But, well, that was missed. Honestly, that was missed. A lot of things have happened. Things are happening. We have to talk about them right now. What the hell happened with Iran? Why is the Ayatollah still in power? Why are protests and arrests still happening? What's going on with this? Well, what's happening? What's going on here on Military Strategies? Tonight, we're going to tell you about it. We'll show you in detail, so you're going to be amazed. Zimid Rocky is laughing because she knows why we didn't have a live show yesterday. No, we can't tell you. We can't tell you because then the mystery will be revealed. Well, let me tell you something. Starting at the end of the month, beginning of February, nobody should miss this channel. Subscribe before it's too late. Because things are going to happen. Things will happen. I'm warning you. And besides, I'm happy. I'm very happy today. I had an important conversation about the future of the channel. We didn't talk to the Temu distributors. We talked to important people. It's going to get crazy. You're going to be amazed, okay? Iran topic? What the hell happened? What exactly happened in this story? Why Donald Trump? At the last minute, Iran got hysterical, cleared its airspace. They were expecting a massive attack. Anti-air defenses were on full alert. What happened here? What's the story? Well, first of all, before anything else, the attack has not been canceled. The attack began that day. The attack began that day because when Iran cleared its airspace, which, by the way, if my estimates are correct right now, and I think they are, the following is happening. Let's go immediately right now to the situation of what's happening in the skies to be amazed by this. Tanker planes right here at this moment crossing the pond. Cooper, pin 7577, pin 7678. Combat teams, fighter jets are now crossing towards the British Isles. At this moment, thank you for watching the video heading towards what's about to happen. And here tonight, I'm going to tell you what seems to be about to happen and that no one wants to realize. Coming down right now? By the way, a C-17 is currently coming down from Germany towards the bases in the Gulf. Get ready with this. Donald Trump, in a magical move, has the tankers take off, creates panic and chaos in Iran, and Iran clears its airspace. They stopped what they were doing to see what's happening now. A real madness, what Iran caused. At that moment, they were empty. All of Iran was empty. And what did he do, Iran? He started connecting his radars and showing the United States where all their anti-aircraft defense systems were. All of them. Iran? The other day, with what happened, they revealed their cards. The United States wasn't nervous. They saw the radar frequencies. They saw where everything was placed. All of this, Israel watching. And there's a call from Bibi to Trump. There's a call. What does he say to him? What do we have to expect? The necessary conditions are not in place for the regime to be destroyed with a single attack. What could this be due to? What could it be? Well, I think it's something that's pretty clear. It could be three things in one. The Ayatollah was moved to a hard-to-reach location for a specific mission. The Ayatollah could have been transported to another place, and for a while, Israel lost track of the Ayatollah's location. Unlikely, but possible. It's one of the two options. The anti-air defenses are not enough for Iran's possible retaliatory attack, which is why Israel has to strengthen its anti-air defenses. So, in the face of what could be a ballistic missile attack against Israeli cities, Bibi could have said, let's wait a week. We set up more defenses, scan the situation better, and then launch the attack. And the third one, the most sinister of all, is that Donald Trump has asked the Pentagon, I want the head of the Ayatollah and all of them on a trip. The Pentagon's response could have been the following. We can do it, but the guarantee percentage with the personnel we have right now is not high.
Oh.
Donald Trump could have asked, what do we need? The answer was given, then gone. At least one or two aircraft carriers with cruise missile destroyers. Maybe Trump has said we're going to send 2 aircraft carriers, but also Donald Trump has done something to buy time. He has bought them time. 800 or more than 800 protesters who were going to be hanged this very Friday. There we see him. Donald Trump thanks him. Not thanks, but rather the 800 people who were going to be killed have been spared by the leaders of Iran. Donald Trump has given them some time, but be careful. They remain detained, are still tortured, and the streets are still dangerous. We have footage of what is happening right now in Iran, here exclusively on military strategies. We have a way to find footage of what is happening in Iran. What's going on? Did Donald Trump back down? It's fallen apart. Israel asked him not to attack. Israel is the first interested party in making this happen. The missile program is being developed, and every day more missiles are aimed at Israel. Well, Donald Trump 2 weeks ago told the people of Iran to go out into the streets and protest. Did you hear us? Help is on the way. He can't back down now. Too many people have died. Estimates ranging from 5,000 to 20,000 people is too wide a range. The numbers are hard to verify, but the images we've seen indicate that yes, there have been a large number of casualties. So what's happening there? What's going on? Well, what's happening is this. Watch images from Iran closely. Scared?
What is it that...
The regime has declared martial law, has deployed the Revolutionary Guard and the army to massacre civilians. It keeps happening at a lower level than it was happening before, and this also has to do with Donald Trump. He told him to lower the intensity, and he, meanwhile, is buying time, so that someone arrives, the aircraft carrier arrives, the most important striking capability of the United States of America arrives, destroyers, cruisers, guided missile launchers, and a very, very powerful air force, all for what? Well, this is the best part. If the United States had launched an attack a week ago, it's possible that the intention would have been just to send the same message to the regime. Now, the fact that they're launching an attack of that level is because there's destruction on the way. Keep that in mind. Do they want to get rid of the Ayatollah? We're still live, family, here on Military Strategies. Thank you so much for being live with us. Of course, stories aren't always that simple sometimes. It's not easy to bring down a regime. It's not that simple. Also, when you want to make sure everything is ready for a transition, but there's a contact that's still there. When could the aircraft carrier arrive? Because this is another question that people are now asking. One of the big mysteries of this matter is when the United States will have everything ready. I'll say the same thing I said about Venezuela.
No.
When all the chess pieces are in place, then the inevitable will occur. Here's the map. Approximately by Jan 20. All the necessary units to bring down the regime could be arriving. We could start looking at the calendar, checking the dates and timing, so that by the end of the week, we can send him to hell. And that's part of Donald Trump's future, the regime of the Ayatollahs. There's the map. Another important topic exists. Let's see. There's another important point in this whole story that we have to look at that needs to be activated. Pay attention to this. From Spain, the Rota Naval Base, the destroyers have to depart heading. Pay attention to the Eastern Mediterranean. That's right, from Rota. The destroyers have to set sail to provide security for Israel. and also to have strike capability against Hezbollah, to also reinforce the air defense of the entire area and create a sort of complete barrier against anything Iran might launch against Europe or Israel. These destroyers obviously have different configurations. Some are set up in attack mode and others in defense or mixed mode. That is, they carry a number of cruise missiles or anti-aircraft missiles, which can vary, but they are integrated into the Aegis system, which can intercept ballistic missiles like the ones launched by Iran. So it would be interesting to see and analyze what the situation will be in that regard. Family, we're live right now. We're missing a lot of likes, please. We're close to 13,000 people. We're missing a lot of likes. You have to support the channel. Thank you so much. We're only asking for likes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The bell so you get notifications. A lot of you ask us about strategies. We don't get notifications. Well, you don't get notifications because you need to hit the bell. Without the bell, there are no notifications. We keep watching videos of what was happening in Iran, of what was going on over there. Disturbing. A sort of curfew has been imposed. People are being attacked. There's fire in the streets. The besieged are shooting at people. There's a curfew. As we said, look at these images. It suggests the regime controls the situation. It's true in some places, in some areas, the intensity of the clashes has decreased. But now, could this change in the coming days when people find out that an aircraft carrier is on its way?
Oh, Mr. Terran. Here is the city of Mashhad. Oh my God, I messed up badly.
This was January 8th. Why do we show an image from that day? Because from that date, the regime cut off the internet. Nothing and no one could see what was happening, what was going on. They're chasing people. They have Starlink systems. They're chasing everyone. What does Donald Trump say about this? Listen. What does the boss say?
Thank you for watching the video. Officials convinced you to not strike Iran.
Nope.
He says, have they convinced you not to attack Iran?
I convinced myself.
He says, no one convinced me. I convinced myself.
Yesterday, over 800 slides were planned, but they were canceled instead of taking place.
Yesterday, 800 hangings were scheduled, but none occurred.
That had a big impact.
He says that has had a big impact. Is Donald Trump satisfied that there haven't been 800 hanged, but they've killed 10,000, 5,000, 3,000? 20,000, as some statistics say? Is it acceptable in the United States to speak out loud in public? I don't think so. I don't think it's acceptable. I think the United States, the red line was already crossed at some point. By the way, 54 have been executed in the last few hours. There's a sign that says so. We have it here, published on social media, that at least 54 people have been killed by the regime in the last few hours. Is the list getting longer? But of course here, we also have to consider security. Security is important, as we were saying, and we can see it here now. On the map, Israel is the first and most invested in eliminating the Iranian threat. But of course, missiles are going to be launched from Yemen, from Lebanon, from Iran. The forces that were deployed at the time to provide protection and security to all of Israel have to be redeployed. That coalition has to be put in place again. Important points here. Cyprus. Israel has been visiting Cyprus in recent days. There have been contacts with the Cypriots to grant them airspace and a military base. Use of a military base. For what? So that, if necessary, in the event of a massive attack from Iran, they can redeploy their forces in Cyprus, the Air Force. I mean, acting from there, which could happen. It's not far-fetched at all and has already happened in the past. Officially, it hasn't been stated, but there are reports that do confirm it, at least. What else has happened there? There are other important news stories. Be careful. The Iranians aren't alone. What has happened with the Iranians? More than 6,000, I repeat, more than 6,000 militiamen from Iraq have crossed into Iran to provide security for the regime. To secure the regime. But what else has happened? Well, this is good. This is tremendously good. I'm going to show you a picture of one of the men who strikes the most fear into his enemies. Thanks for watching the Man of the Vipers video. David Barnea. Barnea has traveled and is currently traveling to the United States. Thank you for watching. Barnea is traveling to the United States to coordinate the upcoming operation with them. How will they handle the Ayatollah? What will happen in Gaza? Since Gaza is another key topic in this story, what's happening there? What's going on there? That we have entered phase 2. And if there's a phase 2, then Hamas must be disarmed. They are going to disarm them. What do you guys in the chat think? Is Hamas going to be disarmed? Please leave it in the comments below. What do you guys think? I don't think they will be disarmed and that the war will return. Speaking of Israel, it's impressive. You have to see it, even though it's unrelated. Look at what happened today when the cable that was carrying a Black Hawk over the Jerusalem area. Jerusalem.
Wow, wow.
Yo.
Yo, literally. He broke my string. Wow, oh my God.
Wow.
Sure, it landed in an area, the Judea-Samaria area. It landed around there, and we have the photograph. There is an open investigation, obviously, because they want to know what the hell happened. And the aircraft is unusable. I mean, completely unusable. But just imagine, right? Experiencing it there as it falls on you must be amazing, right? More than incredible. It must be terrible, unbelievable. Those things are happening there too. Everything is happening everywhere at the same time. All right, let's continue, okay? Because we have more. There's history.
Yeah.
Breaking news right now. Breaking news on military strategies. The United States Federal Aviation Administration issued several advisories today, Friday, regarding the airspace over Mexico, Central and South America, including Colombia, Ecuador, and Panama. It's not the only place where NOTAMs are flying. There are more in Iran. New NOTAMs have been issued. And now I want to show you something. Where did the planes from the Al Hudayt base in Qatar go the other day? To where? Thank you for watching the video. To a base in Saudi Arabia. Thank you for watching the video. Pay attention to the photo. There it is, there. In this photo from January 10th, we see 3 Stratotankers, 7 Pegasus C-130, Hercules planes, another 5 Pegasus, and at the top, a C-17. Thank you for watching the video. The planes needed for refueling at a base in Saudi Arabia. Prince Sultan Air Base. There it is. Although it has also been said that Trump has given the order to return for them to come back again. I have my doubts about this. If it's clear, it's one thing. Look, it's reflected. We'll meet here on the satellite. We are leaving our beloved Israel. Greetings to our friends. Military strategies will be there soon. I can already say we're returning to Israel. But there's one thing that's clear. The air bases we see in Qatar, that we see in Kuwait, that we see in Iraq, today, they no longer have the purpose they used to have in the past. Many of these military bases were used for the attack on Afghanistan as a link or starting point for a deployment or projection of force. Does their proximity to Iran make them a problem? Thank you for watching. Why? Are they too close? Are they within range of Iran's attack systems? That's why Donald Trump has to evacuate them sometimes. In the last week, with all the evacuation movements we've been seeing, yes, they've withdrawn to the Jordan area, but they've also been brought to Djibouti. There are personnel who have come all the way to Djibouti to seek refuge in the airport area. At the military base over there, which is a permanent one in Africa with the United States, well, things have also been arriving. They want to get as far away from Iran as possible. What's the key point? At 5,000 kilometers, Diego Garcia Base. Thank you for watching the video Lost in the Indian Ocean, where there is nothing left. In Diego Garcia, arrivals continue. Could that base be key for a possible attack? Thank you for watching the video. Why? If the Ayatollah hides under a bunker, one that's very deep, are we going to have to bring out the B-2 She? This operation, if meant to decapitate the regime, would send the entire Iranian army fleeing. We're going to need B-52s, B-1S, and B-2S to penetrate those mountains. The deployment has to be big. Yes, as you mentioned in the chat, there are submarines. They launch missiles. Those are in the area. But of course, 100 missiles aren't going to change history. They're not going to change it. More equipment is needed. It's a huge country, huge, very, very big. But even so, it's also true that Trump doesn't want a long war. That's why they've told him we have to bring what needs to be brought. We're seeing the same thing that happened with Venezuela. Same scenario, same situation. We're going to see it again. Let's see what happened or is happening here. Are planes still being moved from place to place? It's very clear that this isn't going down. It's quite the opposite. The fact that more and more are piling up means that the United States is interested in ending the regime. So I insist again, whatever is going to happen, whatever is going to occur, will be after the end of this month. Thank you for watching. There was also an urgent way. Why? Let me explain. At the same time they were talking about launching the attack, Iran is not stupid. They must have used international diplomatic channels to say, hey, let's tone down the talks with Trump, slow it down a bit so he doesn't attack us. Let's try to talk, negotiate, buy some time, all right? If Iran had executed 800 people this Friday, Trump wouldn't have waited for the aircraft carrier. He would have had to go for the worst case scenario without having all his forces available. But since it hasn't happened and it hasn't occurred, he still has time. I mean, with this, it's not clear that it will be at the end of the month either. If the regime commits a real massacre tonight, which it is doing, Iran could speed things up. By the way, right now a stratotanker is taking off from Qatar. There we see it. From Al Udeid, this stratotanker is taking off, which will surely go with an air patrol to do the northern route of Baghdad and return possibly, but it's taking off. Does that mean they've come back? Recently, a lot of information was collected.
Film.
Information is power. Wars are won with information.
Film.
This is interesting, very, very interesting as well. Check out this fact an hour later. Look here. Look, this transport plane isn't crossing Israel to take a shortcut and go directly to military aircraft. I'm looking forward to telling you about it. There's Abraham Lincoln. No, he hasn't been resurrected. It's the United States aircraft carrier heading toward Iran. What are the Iranians saying? What are they commenting? What? This guy is sinister, the one you're about to see now. This one, along with Larry Johnny, the worst of the worst. This one you're seeing here, Mohsen Rezai, we thought he had died in the 12-day war. He is one of those responsible, no more and no less, for the attack on the Argentine Israelite Mutual Association. He is. He's threatening again, he says. So Trump believes that a single attack would end everything. A state of war would cause major problems for the United States. No United States base will be safe and there won't be a ceasefire. They don't know who they're dealing with. A single attack, of course. Someone must have told them they're going to launch a single attack to try to take out the Ayatollah. Was there a leak? What has the Iranian Minister of Defense said? Well, get ready for this. According to the Iranian Minister of Defense, the protesters were under the influence of drugs. He said some deaths were from overdoses, not security forces' actions. This is unbelievable. By the way, I want to say that we don't encourage any kind of substance use or anything like that. This is an informational news channel. We report what's happening in a different way, obviously, but here we follow the community guidelines.
Oh.
Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for watching the video, dear and beloved moderators or censors. All good, calm, all right, that's what's happening, but nevertheless, things are different.
This.
Because careful with these images. Thank you. Attention with this. The bodies keep piling up in Tehran to be identified. It's tremendous. It's tremendous. Truck after truck of people who have fallen. You can't believe it, but it's happening. It's going on. Unfortunately, it's happening. And things look bad, really bad. That's why, what do we have right in front of us right now? Well, look, Pahlavi just spoke a little while ago. Pahlavi, did she say something to you? The bloodshed won't be pointless. What did Pahlavi say? About her village? Well, for a part of the village, Pahlavi is the one who should be leading the country. What has he said or written? Just look at the words. It's clear. Dear brave compatriots, the criminal regime of the Islamic Republic and its words. They try to deceive the world and buy time, claiming Iran is normal, but there's an ocean of blood between us and this murderous regime, the children of Iran. As long as Khamenei and his criminal gang are not thrown into the dustbin of history, and as long as the criminals are not punished, nothing in Iran will be normal. The blood of our homeland's bravest children compels us to speak out and stand firm. Have massacres and martial law made the streets more costly? Our homes become trenches of resistance, defined through strikes, work stoppages, chants, and nightly shouts. Therefore, I ask all of you brave compatriots from all over Iran to raise your voices and protest. On Saturday, the 27th Monday, on the Iranian calendar, which is from January 17th to 19th at 8 p.m., with national slogans, and show the world that the end of these anti-Iranian criminals is near. The world sees your bravery and will offer clearer and more practical support to your national revolution. I promise together we'll reclaim and rebuild Iran. A hot weekend is coming. Very hot. Massive protests this weekend in Iran. Things can be sped up. Things can be sped up substantially. President Trump and Bibi Netanyahu, what's going on there? What's happening between Bibi and Trump? What did he talk about on the phone Thursday night to discuss the situation with Iran? What's going to happen? What's going to take place? What? Both know when and how. This will explode. Do you know that? And it's going to explode. Are you aware of what's happening in Yemen? That's important too. Do you know that now the United Arab Emirates has pulled out? Saudi Arabia is the only one left. We don't have much news from Yemen, from the Houthis, but we do have some. Did anyone explain how to attack? Is it going to go badly? So the attack wasn't canceled. Weren't the chess pieces in their places? Israel doesn't want to take risks. They want to do it safely, just like what happened in the Caribbean Sea. Mobilize everything and make the enemy lose their nerve. Right now, Iran is the enemy, and they're going to lose their nerve. Family, thank you so much for this live stream. We'll see each other again in just a few minutes with Venezuela. Maria, Karina, and Delcy. 2 women, 1 destiny, parallel but not identical lives. Greetings.